Thanks for listening to the NVTV podcast, produced by Niqua Media.
Welcome to this episode of the NVTV podcast. I'm Mridula Natarajan. On today's show, we'll be talking about the upcoming Filmmakers Showcase for production students. Joining me today is Lauren Varak, a Production 3 student. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so when is the Filmmakers Showcase?
The Filmmakers Showcase is this May 16th at the Neuqua Valley Auditorium from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m.
Fun. And what exactly is the Filmmakers Showcase? Like, what do you do? What does it entail?
So the showcase is basically an event that allows all of the media and production students to show off all the projects that we've been making the past few years. So basically any of the classes were allowed to submit projects. And then also this year, the more advanced classes are making short films that we show in the auditorium. And basically it's the chance for anybody to come see. So media students can come, friends, family, basically anybody who has an interest in seeing the projects that we've made.
Oh, fun. And did you do the showcase last year?
I have not. I have never been to it, so I'm really excited because this year I am making a short film for it. So.
Oh, cool. So not all production students make films for it?
No, it's basically, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be a film. You could put in a commercial or a movie trailer or something that you've made the past year that you would like to show off to the school, and you can just give that to Mr. G, and he creates, I think, like an assembly of them. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
Oh, that's cool, though. It's like a mini MMEA.
It is.
Like a short film festival. So you've never been to it before. Have you heard good things about it?
I have. I've heard, especially in the past, sometimes there'll be a film where like a lot of people in the school will have either known that it was happening or were a part of it. So it's super cool because it's in the auditorium, so it's on like a big screen and you're sitting in the big movie theater type seats. So it feels a lot more real, and it's really exciting to get to see these films like come together.
Oh, that's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like, did you go to MMEA this year?
I didn't, but I went last year.
That's right. So I feel like this year at MMEA, last year I was a little more immature last year, but this year I actually feel like I got to appreciate everyone, like all these brilliant minds. So that's so cool that we can do it right at Neuqua.
Exactly, because there are a lot of talented media students here.
Exactly. So what do you think, I know you kind of just talked about this of seeing everything come together, but what specifically do you think is going to be your favorite part of the showcase?
So what makes this year special is this is the first year where all of our media 3s and 4s, we're making short films for the showcase specifically. So typically when we make a project, whether it's individual or in a group, we watch it in class and then everyone watches it and critiques and we talk about it. But this year we're not doing any of that. We are not going to see the films until we're at the showcase. So I don't see the other films in my class until they're debuted for the first time. So I'm actually going to be there because a lot of times it's all projects at the showcase that we've all seen. So that's one of the reasons that I've never gone is because I know what's going to be there. But this year it's new stuff that I've never seen before. So we get to get like live reactions.
Cool. So has everybody been like a little bit secretive and stuff in class?
I usually we walk around while we're editing and we're like watching each other's projects, but I'm like, nope, I'm going to save it May 16th.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. So you've been a film student for technically 3 years and you've done 2 years in production. And we're kind of coming to the end of your time as a production student. But how do you think you've grown, not just as a film student, but, you know, what has media taught you these past 2 years?
I've definitely learned a lot about communication and collaboration because if there's one thing about media, it's that you have to work with people all the time. We have a lot of group projects. Those simmer down as you get more advanced. We have a lot more individual you choose projects, but like right now we're in a short film group, and it's a big project that we're doing, and we have to do a lot of stuff after school, and I don't know if I could have handled that freshman year with the kids in my Media 1 class. I would have been so upset and so stressed out all the time. So I definitely know how to communicate with people when I'm available to shoot things, if you have differing opinions on how you want to do a script or a shot or something like that, I've gotten a lot better at communicating that and being respectful of other people's opinions, but also not letting people necessarily run all over me because my opinions are valid.
Exactly. Your opinions are valid. You know what they say? If you can't work together, it's going to be ugly. So you were in production 2 last year. This year you're in production 3. And I know you talked about from Media 1 to now a lot more collaboration. Things are harder, more expectations. But from production 2 to production 3, how do you think that those compare?
Freedom is probably one of the biggest things. Like I said, we have so many more projects where we have a few weeks and it's just make a script, make an outline, do something. Really, it could be a commercial, it could be a short film, a movie trailer, really anything that you can think of. So that's super cool because we've had some ideas that I've been thinking about. Like I have a little journal of ideas, and they're all so random and bizarre, and so these projects let me sort of do what I want to do. And then also the equipment that we have access to gets a lot more advanced, so there are bigger responsibilities, but we can really take the next step and have higher level quality and higher level opportunities.
Cool, yeah. And then, so obviously this is just for NEQA students. It's just for film students. But do you know if any other schools do a similar type of showcase, or is it just NEQA that kind of does like a little Filmmakers Showcase every year?
I am not actually sure. I do think that it's something that every school should do because media projects, especially, first of all, a lot of people don't realize that these media classes even exist and that we're making these projects. And it's also pretty hard to, unless you have a YouTube channel or you're really passionate about getting your projects out there, it's really hard to get a lot of people to see the stuff that you've been working really hard on, and we spend a lot of time trying to do this stuff, so I think it's something that everybody should get a chance to be a part of.
Yeah, because I know for Wildcat Weekly, I think part of the reason why I wanted to take it was because people would see my work. Mm-hmm. So I think it is really important. Even for the MMEA showcase, it's not just open to anyone. You have to go into the live stream if you're not in one of those schools or a film student.
Yep.
So I think it is really important that we have something like this for production students too, because what you guys do is incredible. I don't understand half of the equipment you use. I don't know what aperture is.
Me neither. That's okay.
So what has your group been working on to submit for the showcase?
So we decided to go with a bit of a more comedy aspect. Our short film features 2 best friends who get an email from a pirate, and with attached to this email is a photo of Ryan Reynolds, but they don't realize it's Ryan Reynolds. They're not very cultured. So basically this email is asking them to help him get into the country and steal things in order to win $7,000. So they think, well, this sounds legit, let's do it. So basically they commit a series of crimes to help their new friend, a.k.a. Captain Lombardi. Gets them into a little bit of trouble, but it's pretty amusing. I do play the lead, and Jillian plays the other lead, so we're pretty amazing in it.
That sounds really intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, maybe I think I'm going to come to the Filmmakers Showcase because that sounds really interesting.
Yes.
A good little AP exam reliever. So how long have you guys been working on this project?
It's been about, I want to say a week, or it'll be 2 weeks this Friday. They're due tomorrow, the projects. So it's been pretty tight. We've been struggling to get everything done, filming outside of school and also editing inside of school. But we had some time to first work on scripts. We got our scripts approved by Mr. G. So from there, we just sort of start filming and editing, and everything finishes up tomorrow.
Fun. So it's all coming together.
It is.
I know you guys also do promos of the Filmmakers Showcase afterwards.
Yes.
So that should be exciting.
Mm-hmm. The seniors are assigned with making promos for everything. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm so happy that we got to talk about this today. I definitely learned a lot. Thanks again to Lauren Varak for joining us today on the NVTV podcast. The NVTV podcast is produced by media students at Neuqua Valley High School. Enjoy the rest of your day.